Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good. How's it going over there?
Let me get over the light a little bit. Oh man, good, dude. I had to plug my phone in, man. I literally just ran in here from the studio. Me and Tech finishing a song up, man. I literally finished it. I finished it at well, it's 6 o'clock here at like 5:48 and hightailed it home.
Yeah, did you guys? So I think you guys just missed the big hurricane that was coming through, or the tropical storm, or whatever it was. It ended up being just a little bit east of you guys.
Oh no, it hit us a few days ago.
Oh, did it?
Oh
So it
yeah,
did end up going through.
yeah, and a tornado touched down just in Blue Springs where Strange Music used to be.
Really? Man, it's scary, and it was on track to hit up here in Minneapolis, but then it curved last second, and now it's going straight towards my hometown of Green Bay. So
Okay,
it's still moving.
yeah, and it woke me up. It woke me up out of my sleep, man. I was sleeping and the wind hit my house so hard, man, that it woke me up out of my just the wind. Boom. So
Man.
yeah, it's crazy. So, I forgot that was from the tropical storm, though, man. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys are safe. You guys are doing good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to jump right into this and talk about something that you just mentioned. If we can talk about Karens a little bit, and go into a little bit of what what we could talk about here.
I don't have no sense, man. I'm sorry, dude. You know,
No,
to be a black dude and say Karen's names matter right now is so risky. But you know, I consider myself, man, not only a musician as anybody that's watching this probably knows, or anybody that's from my IG knows. I consider myself a comedian, man, and unfortunately, when you're a comedian, you have to be unapologetic. You cannot apologize when you crack jokes because you're gonna offend somebody. But man, the thing about that I'm doing right now, even with the Karen's thing, with the racial tension that's going on, because I don't really speak on. I'm not too political on on any of my social media. And what I like to do, man, is bring the light. I speak the light to it. So for me to even say Karen's names matter as a black dude right now, it's like I just want to make light. I ain't really making fun of it, but I want to make light of the situation, man, because everyone is so tense now, from the Kobe Bryant death to COVID-19 to the to what's going on right now, man, with the George Floyd thing. Like all of that, man, like the way that I feel about it is, even though I know it's necessary to protest, and we did have to do that, and you know what I'm saying, everybody that did it, I had to do that, but I want my world back. I want my laughter back. I want my peace back. I want all that back. You know what I'm saying? So my way of getting it back is to be funny, man. That's it.
and absolutely, and the thing, and you said it. You have to be unapologetic when you're a comedian. When that's the type of personality that you have. I think it speaks to it, and I think people understand that more than just saying, you didn't just come out of nowhere with this. This isn't just like, so this is the first time you spoke. Like, this is something that you've always tried to bring light to things when it comes to your
I
social
do.
media, and I mean, you make light of things in your music as well, but you also talk about difficult topics in your music as well. So I think it is important at times to step back and realize that there is a lot going on, but that you can also, you're allowed to smile in these moments as well.
You're allowed to smile, man. I make fun of myself. I make light of myself, man, because to tell you the truth, man, I have a lot of dark days. It probably seems like I'm a really, really jolly person because I do comedy, but I'm doing that to cheer me up as well as you guys, because I suffer from anxiety and panic disorder and PTSD. Like, I suffer from these things, and this thing has done nothing but overwhelmingly exacerbate all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so it has made me, you know, I ain't gonna lie, man, it made me want to check out because I felt like, what? I don't want to be a part of this world with all of this going on. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't. And you don't really want to, for people out there who are, even contemplating suicide or something, it's not that you really want to die. You just don't want to be a part of what's happening right now. But like I've been saying forever, man, everything is seasonal. I have to tell myself this is seasonal. This will go away. and we will survive. You know what I'm saying? I will. I have to survive, and I have to tell myself that. You know what I mean? So I kind of use comedy and music to get through those days. That's why I do it.
Absolutely. And talking about your music, I mean, this is it ends up being a good segue into this, but your last three projects, with being Immortal, Forever, Eternal, and you guys at Strange, you've been doing more than just creating albums lately. It seems. I mean, you're creating these album concepts. Hang on, it sounds like we're cutting out a little bit
Here we go.
Okay.
I had to take my Wi-Fi. My son is a big gamer, and he's taking all the bandwidth up right now.
No, it's understandable. I know how it goes. But yeah, just talking about your music. I mean, your last three projects, the Immortal, Forever, Eternal. What you guys have been doing at Strange, where you're releasing these small EPs that are all coming together as big projects, but can also stand alone on their own. I think it's interesting. And how have you kind of adapted into that culture of doing the same thing, where you're creating these small projects that eventually pull together into one big one?
I mean, it was different for me. I ain't gonna lie. It was kind of a challenge for me, man, because coming from, we've been around a while, man, and we've been dropping albums, and we have conceptual albums, too. So to deliver this more of a microwave approach as opposed to cooking it in the oven was a little bit different, and we had to adapt. But the thing about us, man, we adapt to anything. We are probably the most soldier-like artists. And when I say we, listen, all of the Strange Music dudes are my brothers. But when I say we, I mean me and Tech Nine, because we have actually endured a lot of things. I mean, from being sick on the road, dude, broken bones, and pneumonia. Tech had the last epidemic that we had, the swine flu. I mean, we got to Australia and he had swine flu. We still got on stage to adapt into how the music was. Yeah. We were around right before. We kind of started popping right before the internet, low key. We started popping like right before social media. Really, the internet was cracking, but right before social media. You know what I mean? So we've endured all of the different changes in the music industry, and so this was just another one. This was just another. It felt like when I heard that, I was like, oh shit. And I was like, no. I'll adapt, and I adapted, man. I think those EPs are one of the things it does for me, man. It allows me to reinvent myself with each project. Like, I sound different on a lot of my projects, and so it enables me to reinvent myself like over and over and over in a shorter time span. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to talk about too. Is you look at what you were doing on these last three projects compared to something like Go. And in your ability to bring stuff like Speed 'em, to bring stuff like Worldwide Choppers, but to also bring some of my favorite harmonies on tech songs and your own songs as well. But like being able to combine all of that, how do you find your ability to balance those things with not only all the different styles you have, but then you talk about being pop club songs and then having your heavy hitting songs. Where does that all stem just from? That's who you are. It's just all a big part of you.
That's who I've become. I can tell you that, because we roll with the punches, man. So there's times where I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Dude, between every project, I literally feel like, how am I even doing this? I don't even know how to write songs. Like, what am I doing? I need to quit. I don't even know I don't know how to write another hit song, dude. How many words can I say? Dude, I'm done. I can't even do this anymore. This is stupid. And I sit right here next to this window in this chair. I was, going to the stores and malls and stuff, but once the COVID hit, I've been sitting right here in my little yellow chair that my wife bought me, and I just write. It just comes out. Especially when I went through a really bad bout of depression and anxiety about a week ago. And I just sat in this room, man. I would not leave this room just to grab food. And I kind of was withdrawn from my family for a while, my sons and my wife. And dude, I sat in here and came up with the most fire music. I don't know what it was, dude. It just whenever I go through these mental health battles, man, for some reason, it just fuels my creativity, dude. And it makes me, me and Tech just made this song called, damn, what is it even called? 21. Oh my God. Dude, it sounds so crazy. And it sounds like nothing I've ever even done before. Matter of fact, the song we just did that I just came from, he hasn't even heard it because he laid his part and he just ran out of the studio probably like 2 hours ago. I sat there and finished my piece, and then so he hasn't even heard it. He's gonna probably call me any second, like, holy shit, boy. He still gets excited like that, like it's our first song ever. He'll come like, oh my God, Krizz, I know you was gonna do that. You know what I mean? So we just roll with the punches, man, and it just, I don't know, man, these life's blows tend to make me creative, man. I hate it because it feels like at least I have this outlet because I don't take any medication. I don't really do no drugs. I don't really even drink like that. You know what I mean? I do, but I don't. I've spent a lot of years partying, so I don't have to really I'm good.
Well, and first off, can I say I could listen to you do Tech impressions all day long because those were just spectacular. But I know, and we had talked about this the last time that we sat down dealing with depression and anxiety, and this was after the interview. Even we sat down and just talked about. I have a problem with flying. I've never been able to fly.
Oh yeah, that's right. We talked about this.
Yeah, we were talking about having a few drinks before flying, and I finally, for the first time ever, early March, right before all this hit, I finally flew. I had to take some medication to do it, but finally, right. So I finally flew, and I thought, like, there's a step. I finally took one of the biggest steps in my mental health, and all of a sudden, COVID just came full force, and then you got to deal with the mental health of it. You got to deal with because most of mine comes from just physical health. I get anxiety over physical symptoms.
Me too.
Yeah, and so that's where this came in, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a setback. This is gonna be taking some time to figure out how to go through this one.
Yeah, I do too. It's hypochondria. People think that hypochondriacs are people who they think they're sick, but they're not. That is not what hypochondria is. Hypochondria is the fear of what you're feeling. So if you get a headache and you got it for 3 days, you're like, oh shit, this is a brain aneurysm.
Yep.
The sensation that you're having it, but you're scared. I do the same stuff, man. And the funny thing is that my anxiety manifests itself in my body. And so it makes me feel even more sick.
And that's something that
I'm 17 years old too, man. Since I was 17, I've been feeling like that.
And it's hard because you're right. There's the mental side of it. That's you telling yourself like, oh man, what's going on? But it oftentimes comes out as physical sickness. I get like nauseous a lot from it, and then I get mine has to do with my heart. It's always been like I get a tingle in my arm, and I'm like, that's it. This is I'm for sure. So
now, have you had your heart checked though?
Multiple times. I've had like monitors. I wore a monitor for a month. I've done all of it. I've gone into the ER to get like echocardiograms, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing. Every time they tell me, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you, and I go, I know there's something, but it's not this.
Probably, there's two things that I found out because I found out that it could be, and one is that it is the anxiety itself creating that. So it's not fake, but it is manifesting itself in your body. And two, with me having vitiligo, I have an autoimmune disease. When you have autoimmune, a lot of times you have food sensitivities. So you're thinking these tingles and these heart palpitations, the tachycardia is what is the medical term. You think it's a heart problem, but really it might be bread. It might be bread. And some of those things, even if you have autoimmune problems, man, sometimes the food can give you the anxiety and give you the other sensations. And you might just literally need to go gluten-free. Like sometimes that right there, or dairy-free or something. Like sometimes those little tweaks, man, changed me. Like when I first started, we just started doing a different program today. And I can tell I feel like sick. I feel like flu symptoms, but it's because some of that stuff's getting out of your body, the sugar getting out of your body. Like all of it's so weird, man, how those things play such a big part in it, and they add to your anxiety and all of that shit.
Yeah, and I'm actually just coming off of 1 month. I just do sugar cleanses here and there where I just go, I got to cut out all the cookies, cake, all that stuff and cut it out for a month.
Right.
And you're right, those things do help. I mean, I still eat them here and there, but dairy, stuff like that, cutting it, lowering the amount that you're taking in. So it's definitely interesting, and knowing other people are going through it too. It's one of those things where you read about it and you might go, it's just something I'm reading. But like when you start to hear other people and see the successes they've had with it, it starts to make you think like, yeah, maybe I'll try it out. Maybe like I'll give it a shot. And then I started seeing the benefits instantly with it. So one last question I wanted to ask before we get into the actual quarantine questions here is yesterday we were talking with Tech and he had mentioned a title for his new project that he came to you with about him being called the Beast, and then getting. I wanted to get your take on that.
You want to talk about mental problems? Tech is crazy, and when I say crazy, I don't mean crazy. I use that term lightly, even though people typically would say that about me or anybody else that has mental health issues. When I say Tech is crazy, that means he tries things that no one else even thinks. I'm like, why are you even thinking to do that? No, don't do that. He called me at probably like 11:30 last week. Tech calls me like 5 times a day during COVID. Like every time the phone rings, I assume it's him. He calls me, I'm like, I'm sleeping. I'm like, what's up, dog? I got an idea. Like he does all day, every day. And he's like, and he tells me the idea about and I can't tell, what it is, but he told me, he's like, am I crazy for doing that? I was like, yes, of course. No, man, you can't do that, man. Don't. I know, man. I said I wasn't going to do it, man, because it's going to make everybody come for me. I was like, I mean, if you just want to be a provocateur like that, then yeah, but no, man, you cannot do that.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, it's just funny. I remember him saying it. I was like, I got to hear it from your side, how this all went down, too.
I was like, absolutely not, man.
Absolutely. So, okay. So here's the part. This is what our whole podcast has really been about. Our interview series is we do these quarantine questions just to catch up with everybody, but we wanted to do some special ones for Strange Music, and we want to thank you guys for jumping on here and doing this all week long with us.
Okay.
So the first question I have for you is, which label mate of yours is most likely to survive in an apocalypse?
Damn, more than me? During an apocalypse. Recognize.
Okay. So
Recognize is, like, I consider myself an intellect. I think all of the guys are really smart. There's a lot of really highly intellectual dudes that are on our label. UBI is like super smart. All of the dudes are really smart in their own way. They have to be to think all of these words and be this creative, put it together. But Rec is like who I call when I have like an issue with anything, not like in life, but my computer, Pro Tools, like stuff. He's like a rapping IT team of his own. He shoots all of his own videos. He records himself. He plays all kind of instruments. He does everything. You know what I'm saying? Not the instruments, will make you survive, but I would say him, man. Like, he's the first person that makes me think, like, an apocalypse, I could see Rec making it.
I'll ask him too, because they're coming up. Mayday is going to be a little later in the week. I actually think they're tomorrow. So,
and you got to tell him I said him. He's going to be like, he would say me.
So what is one artist's music that you've been listening to the most during quarantine?
Man, I've listened to old school during quarantine, for real. I've been playing a lot of this old school rap and old school funk and And rock, I've been playing. I don't think I played anything past the year 2000 and since the quarantine. So all this to that. And because I've been wanting my to calm myself down, I've been playing a lot of jazz, man. There's a dude that's produced. He produces most of Maze's music that's on our label.
Okay.
Dude, EP has his own jazz channel on Pandora, which is what I listen to the most of. And I listen to like his jazz channel. And then I listen to a lot. This is what's really weird. People probably would notice. I listen to a lot of pan flute. If you know what the pan flute is, it's like in all of the Asian movies when you hear this mellow music, it's like, ooh, ooh. Like I listen to a lot of that.
Isn't it that's like the short flutes all the way to the long flute, right?
Yeah, and they play it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I listen to it because you know why? When I go into a spa, when I'm going to get a massage somewhere, anywhere in the world, they're always playing that. So it reminds me of just relaxing in a spa in a hot tub, get a massage. So I play a lot of that. And that's it, man. Like I don't really play a lot of like newer artist music. I'll go through it just to see who's doing what. It's more like homework to me. I want to hear what Uzi Vert's doing. I want to hear what the new everybody. I want to listen to the new. I want to listen to the baby. I want to hear what he's doing. I want to hear what Megan Thee Stallion is doing because my boy produces a lot of produced her hit. Savage, my dude Jay White. Shout out to Jay White. So I do homework just so I can stay abreast of what to do because I write and pitch music to other artists and
right.
I've been like I kind of been binge watching stuff, man. Like I'm binge watching Adam Ruins Everything right now. That's like my favorite show.
Yes, that's real solid. I like watching him just tear everybody down.
It kind of like low key freaks me out. I'm like, what? But it's very educational. You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
that's what I've been doing during quarantine. Plus painting. I just painted this room I'm in. Like I just like, you know what? I never liked this color. I'm about to paint this wall. Right before it hit, I bought paint for like all the rooms I want to paint in the house. Like I know I wanted to build me a little makeshift studio in the basement, so I bought paint for it, carpet, and I'm just about to do it myself. Even though I have no idea what I'm doing, I just get it done.
One way to learn.
YouTube.
Absolutely. All right, so this is the third one. Tech struggled a little bit with this one, but it says, who is the label mate that's most likely to come out of quarantine with the best body and worst body? So we'll call it best summer bod, the best bad bod.
Damn, let me think. Who do I think is going to be really working out like that? I don't know, man, because I don't know who is working out. I wouldn't think that they're going to be, most of the dudes are smaller guys, man. I'm probably like the fattest dude on the label. I know me, I'm going to come out this looking way different because we've been working out and we stopped, but we've got our diet like to a science now. We just started Monday. I'm going to probably say me. Come on. We keep it 100 around here, baby. He said, I want to give you kisses when she was leaving. Interview. Nah, that's natural. I'm over here. I haven't eaten, so I'm over here eating pistachios, drinking water, kissing wives.
Well, and that's one of the things I like about doing it like this is this has been a lot more of a casual interview series from the beginning, and it's something that I've always tried to bring to my interviews is that I don't like it to feel very like I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want it to feel more like, you know, we're just talking because that's how I've always been about my life when I meet new people, when I go about new things, when I want to learn new stuff. I just want to talk to people and learn it as I go.
About who's going to have the worst body. I don't know because I don't know who's actually working out. I haven't talked to Burns or Noms, but they stay pretty much the same. They never get fat. They're just kind of small guys, and I know that they work out here and there and play guitar. And Noms is the dancer, and Tech works out here. And Tech stays the same. We all kind of stay the same for like the last 20 years. Man.
Right.
Me, I kind of go up and down just a little bit, but I fluctuated 100 pounds. I mean, I had lost 100 pounds. I had lost 120 pounds. Then I probably gained back like 40 or 50. And so I don't know who is working out the most. The best body probably is Travis, I would say. Travis keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Travis was like 400 pounds. He weighs less than me now.
Yeah.
He's low.
I mean, and it's funny that you mention him because I think Tech would have, but he said he asked for artists specifically, and he was like, "Let me."
What did Tech say?
He said King ISO was going to come out best.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, he's going to come out, but that ain't fair. He already starting like that.
Right.
He's going to come out with the best body. Yeah, absolutely. Right. But he started with the best body too.
Right. He said he just works out all the time. We were talking because when we talked to ISO, he talked about the same thing. He can't wait to get back to the gym for gyms to open so he can be back in there doing everything.
I saw his Instagram. Look how you still work.
Yeah.
He's trying to call me right now.
And then he said he would have said Ritz if he was still on the label, but then he said shout out because he's been doing real well lately, but he would have said
he is, but I don't know if he's working out because he's a cook. I feel like he does nothing but eat.
Right.
Like all he does is eat food and make delicious looking stuff. He makes look at what his sandwiches look like. His sandwiches look like the best thing ever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about the best body, but I know he's sober and he's been sober for a long time now, for a while now. For I think maybe almost a year or something like that. I don't remember exactly how long, but he's definitely going to come out way better.
Absolutely. So the next question I have for you is, with everything that's been going on, there's a lot of stresses being put on people, and especially guys like us that are going through a lot of different mental emotions as well. What's one thing that you've found that helps you, decompress and just kind of recharge yourself during all of this?
Well, I probably kind of told you. One of the things I do, man, I just sit on the back porch, dude. I just sit there in the sun and just listen to the world. You know what I mean? Like I love hearing the train. I live in the same neighborhood I grew up in right now, and I just sit here and I just listen to like you can hear lawnmowers right now, just the birds and lawnmowers. I just started having I had to break it down to where I started appreciating the planet. I'm like, I got to just appreciate the planet because I started feeling like I didn't want to be part of it anymore with all this stuff going on, and so I just literally just sit outside, man, and just listen to the world, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Or, like I told you, I listen to the meditation music. I was riding my bike, but I had written it down to, I would say ride my bike, but I had written it down to Power and Light District, which is like downtown KC. It's like downtown LA, or it's like downtown Baltimore. So they're all owned by the same people. I wrote it down there during the Chiefs Super Bowl parade, and I left it down there, and then COVID hit and they shut down, so I can't get it. Been sitting at Power and Light for months. Otherwise, that's what I do, man. I put on, I get on my bike, man. I listen to audiobooks. I just get on audiobooks, or I listen to like rock, like pretty heavy rock. And that didn't work out, man. I get up in the morning and me and my wife work out together, man. We start doing that to strengthen ourselves because quarantine will do a number on your relationship. I was like, I don't know about this. And so we get up, we work out together, man. That really helps my brain out a lot. It makes me decompress.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that, I've recently started growing herbs and I got tomato plants out there. Yep. And in that sense of, I grew up on a farm out in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. Yep. But that sense of taking care of something, even if it's just a plant, being in tune with something like that, listening to music, sitting on the porch, I think it is very vital when you're starting to get down into one of those depressions.
That's it, man. I sit outside and watch my son. My son just dribbles and dribbles and dribbles and shoots and dribbles. He's a little basketball star. He just turned 14 Saturday. And he just sits outside and just hoops. And I just sit and watch him get better and better and better and better. Man, he looks like a little NBA All-Star out there.
Yeah, it's exciting to see. I have now 5 nieces and nephews, and the oldest one is now 8. I believe he's just turning 8. And so he's the same way. Like when you start to see him just starting to get sports, starting to get art, he loves poetry. He's just
wow.
Loves writing. And it's just anything. Just write whatever he's thinking in his head. And I'm like, just keep doing that. That's all you got to do.
My little baby does it too. My little baby is 6. My youngest is 6. And dude, he makes beats already. I don't even know. I was like, what are you even making them on? He's like, on GarageBand. I'm like, how do you even do that? He's like, I was right here. And he just plays me his beats. And I'm like, what? How are you even doing that at 6? It's like decent for real.
Right. Yeah. You got to hop on one.
Yeah, man. Exactly. So he watches me. I never taught him anything or told him sing it. You know what I mean? I never really teach him nothing. He just watches. And he likes to sit and watch me write songs like I write in my phone. And he just sits there and he's like, and I see him with his phone. He's like,
yeah.
I mean, he tries, you know, he's limited with words at 6, but
right.
And singing and sings on key and everything. And I'm like, okay, I see where he's going. We got to nurture this. But I just do that, man. I'm just enjoying. I really just been enjoying my family, man. Like this is the most they've ever seen me in their life. They've never seen me this much. I've been gone.
Absolutely.
My son is 14. My little one's 6. I've been gone their whole life. Like I'm here and I come home and I check on them and I do stuff. You know, I'm involved in their life, even though I travel.
Right.
But, you know, most of the time mom's doing everything. You know what I mean? When I come back, I go to PTA meetings and the little Christmas programs and all of that. But they've never seen me this much in their life. So it's a good and a bad thing because daddy is here with the rules. Like my son right now, I let him take he's playing that new Apex game. He jumped off of Fortnite. Now he's on Apex.
Yeah.
So he's taking an Apex break. But I'm like, when I came in right before I did the interview, I was like, hey, I just came home from the studio. I'm about to jump in this interview. Hey, don't play Apex all night. You got to clean your room. He's like, I got you.
Absolutely.
So that's it, man. That's being just a normal guy, you know, just kind of like helps me out, man, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny you bring up, you know, him talking into his phone like you are, because it's something that you see no matter who the kids are watching their dad. My nephew loves to watch my dad work on his lawn, or my brother work on his lawnmower, and he'll take his little toy lawnmower and flip it over, and he'll just, you know, look over there and then tap on it, and look over there, and like, you know, he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, your son obviously knows a little more what he's doing, but he's about 2, so he's just kind of like, all right, like, I see what you're doing, and it's neat to see it all.
You'll be tinkering on stuff before you know it, and be one of those dudes that can fix any and everything.
Right. So the last question I have for you here is, with things starting to reopen now, with things starting to you know, come back together, what is one thing that you hope, you know, we learn through COVID, through everything going on, and what's one thing that you just can't wait to get back to being the same thing?
2 things. One, man, you know, we like to eat out a lot, man, but I can't wait to do that some more. But I think we'll do it sparingly because I have saved tons of money that I'm thinking a lot of people do. Because without touring, man, like we don't have that was 75% of my income is touring. You know what I'm saying? So without touring, it's kind of you know, it's not like it was. So I've had to learn to really budget my money differently. I'm a dude that constantly buys socks, underwear, and t-shirts, like constantly. Like I always have a crispy tee on. That's just how I rock. Matter of fact, I still got a whole tote, like a big tote upstairs full of t-shirts, full of probably, I think I got like 80 new white t-shirts in there. I always buy white tees, but I've had those for like a year. I haven't bought anything. I buy shoes, socks, t-shirts all the time. And I haven't bought not one pair of shoes, not anything. It taught me how to really budget and conserve my money, and that I have so many clothes. Like I cleaned out my house, but I probably filled up, dude, I probably went to Goodwill because I drive trucks. I probably filled my truck up 6 times going to Goodwill, giving away clothes, and just narrowed it down to just the outfits that I wear normally and just rotate them. And it just taught me to live differently. Like I don't really need that stuff like that. People don't care about that, man. Our fans love what we do, man. They don't care what I got a great t-shirt. They don't care, man. They don't care. Look, you need to look presentable. If we're going to award shows and things like that, but for the most part, man, I just learned to live a little bit more, be more of a minimalist. You know what I mean? But I can't wait because we like to go out to eat, not just to eat all the time, but just the atmosphere. I can't wait humans need to be social. And I just can't wait for that aspect to, dude, there's people at the grocery store, there's little old folks, you know, old, elderly people at the grocery store that know me from the grocery store. They have no idea about Krizz Kaliko. My neighbors, they have no idea about this. They just like, oh, there's Krizz, you know?
Right.
And I just can't wait to be social with the people that I would see every day and take for granted that if it got cut off, I would miss them. You know what I mean? My neighbor's like a 80-year-old, you know, 80-year-old man across the street. And I just talked to him for the first time the other day. I wouldn't even get close to him. For the first time he came over, I was like, hey, Ed, don't get to me. He's like, oh, Krizz. Yeah, so I sat out there and just talked to him. And he has no idea like that I rap for and sing for. He has no idea what I do.
Right. It's, yeah.
I can't wait to connect with these people again.
And it's a really big part of, you know, and you're right. It's even more than, you know, just going and talking with people, but being around people where you're not all on edge. Like right now, even when you're around people,
no, I'm on edge.
Everybody's on edge.
Yes,
you know, when you're in the grocery store.
I started going to stores last week because when it first hit, I went and got 4 months worth of food, and we just didn't leave the house at all. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't hoarding. I got enough, but once we started running down, I thought it was 4 months, but it wasn't because everybody was just eating. Well, the first month we just had I felt like we were having an eating contest, and then that calmed down. But other thing is, man, I can't wait to perform. Like, dude, that's what I am. I don't know why I didn't say that first. I am a performer, and I just can't wait to be back in like. Recording the work is good, and that's part of my element, but my element is being on stage. I'm an entertainer. That's what I do. And that's kind of it's such an ego boost. No, but I feel like I be saying too much. I feel like entertainers don't say that. That strokes your ego so much. It gives you such confidence and makes you feel so good for me to sit out there and say, Kelly, baby, and the whole crowd go, ah. Like that. Without that for a year, I feel like I'm like jonesing over here. And
absolutely.
I like need it. You know what I mean? So I can't wait for those things to come back.
Absolutely. So the last thing we're going to do here is just open it up to, you know, we can scroll through and kind of look at some of the questions that were asked here from the fans.
Okay.
And you can answer a couple of them for them. I'll let you kind of scroll through, shout out anybody that you want to, and answer some of the fan questions.
All right, I'll start here. I got Emmanuel. What does it say? Emmanuel Valpando, whatever, 6. Says, I love you, Krizz, and hope that you have a great life and you'll always get through all of those bad things. I will. I'm a survivor, man. I hate to sound like that and sound like I have a dream speech, but I'm a survivor, dude. You know what I'm saying? Destiny's Child wrote that damn song about me. And I'm going to survive, man. RK Waldron says, Callie, will you tell us what sparked the idea for the Cathartic season? 1, I had nothing to do with this. Tet wrote all of that. Tet came to me and was like, hey, man, I got this script. I want you to read through it, make some changes. And I did make some changes to it, but he showed me the script, and I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, and then I want to do this. And he came up with all of that. But I'll read a couple more here. Let's see. That's why I love you. I thank you. Get lifted. BP. I'm trying to think. I love you guys too. Everybody's saying I love you. Thank you. I'm trying to see if there's any other people are kind of just saying comments. Somebody said this, and I normally won't talk about this because I don't usually let people know. I don't really talk too much about my beliefs spiritually or whatever. Somebody said, do I believe in God? Yes, but I think it's differently than most people think about God, though. You know, I don't think that God is just a being in the sky that's just looking down and throwing magic pixie dust and either blessing or not, or, you know, boom, here's a tornado. I don't think it works like that. I think that the universe, there's this huge energy that exists in the universe, is in you and me too. And is there a supreme being? I think so, you know, but none of us know. But yes, I do have a belief system. That's all I will say about it. You know, I probably should say more, but I tend to leave that out, you know, and let everybody, because I never choose sides, man. I never choose sides because I love everybody and I wouldn't want to turn anybody off if I said, you know, what I believe in, you know what I mean?
Right.
Somebody said, when am I dropping the real King All Rise says, or the King All Rise says, when am I dropping an R&B album? I thought about doing it next. I don't know. I thought about doing next, man. Everybody's always wanted me to drop an R&B album and a Christmas album.
Man, a Christmas album would be, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Oh man, I probably should, but I probably should do it now that I just finished my album. Like, what is today? Tuesday. I just finished my album yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think I may do it next. I may do that or a Christmas album. I don't know. Christmas album might have to start now. That way we can release it then.
Right.
And death probably doesn't want you like it doesn't want me. Letters to no one. I hope so. I hope you're right. I ain't ready to.
You know, one thing you've talked about some of the other stuff that you've gotten into, and you know, you talk about R&B, other music, but I remember the last time we talked, you also talked about possibly doing voiceovers.
I already do it.
So has there been, because I remember last time you told me you couldn't tell me what you were in.
I can, and I did it. I done a couple of big ones. They just not, stuff's not out yet, man, and I contractually can't. Let me tell you this. When you hear it, you'll know. When you hear it, you can be like, oh crap, oh man, that's Krizz Kaliko.
That's what I was like, man, I was hoping it's been a few months. I was like, maybe I can hear it now, but I'll be listening.
Really big stuff, dude. Really, really big stuff. I got a big voiceover job. When it is out, I'm going to be part of marketing it, so you'll hear it. Perfect.
I'm excited for it, man. Well, the last thing I always do is just to yield the time to you, to let you talk to the fans, tell them what you got coming up. You know, just say whatever you want to say, and I'll let it at that.
I'm sorry, I was reading comments. Say it one more time.
Oh, you're good. I was just saying, you know, I wanted to yield the remainder of the time to you to just kind of talk to the fans about what you got coming up. Tell them, you know, whatever you want to tell them, get off your chest, anything. So I'll just let you have it.
Nah, man, nothing to really get off my chest. I pretty much got a lot of stuff off there, man. Somebody said Chris narrates a nature documentary. I will. I will, dude. You know, it really started. I'll just tell this real quick because the only other thing I got is my album's going to be coming up. I don't even know when it's coming out. It was actually supposed to drop the 6th. It was supposed to drop, last Friday. It was supposed to come out June 5th. And, you know, with COVID, it kind of messed up everything. Strange was closed down for a while. So I don't really know when it comes out, but when it's coming out. But you guys just watch. I finished everything on Monday because I went back in since I knew it wasn't dropping. I went back in and did more songs. So it'll be out probably within the next month. Just stay tuned into my IG, my TikTok, my Facebook. You see everything that I'm doing, man. I will tell you what it's called Legend. My album's called Legend. And because that's what I feel like I'm creating, man, a legend, man. This Krizz Kaliko dude creating a legend, man. And it's got some really dope music on it, especially I just ran in and did last quick 5 songs, like 4 or 5 songs. Killer. Killer, dude. I'm so happy. I wish I could just bump them for you right now. So dope. But yeah, dude, they're dope. They're dope. Dang, what was I gonna tell you about the voice stuff? Dang, I forgot. I was gonna tell you something about the voiceover, so I started talking about my album. I forgot. The voiceover thing. Oh, I was gonna tell you how I got into it, man. I was always playing with my son, my little 6-year-old. He always makes you play with action figures, and he makes me be the bad guy. So he's always the good guy, and I would always do all of these voices. And he'd be like, I'm gonna get you, and I'd be like, you'll not defeat me. And he was like, my wife was like, you should do that. Like that should be a job of yours. And I would always have to do these different voices, like, now I have you.
Right.
You know, and I did demos, I shot them out. People started hitting me back.
Man, that's awesome. And it's cool, and it's awesome to hear that that's how that starts, because I mean, a lot of people will just, you'll be playing with their kids and you'll realize like, man, it's fun. It's fun to do all that stuff, but to turn that into a career too, it's really cool to see.
Man, I watch a lot of Gary Vee. Gary Vee is like one of my biggest, man, he's like an idol of mine, man, you know, and Gary Vee talks about doing what you love and making it into a job. Everybody feels like they probably can't do it, but you can. You can do it. You just got to find the way. It's about how you find your way to it. You know what I mean? I found my way to it. I did, you know what I did, man? I YouTubed how to get into voiceover work. I just YouTubed it. And I looked for like 2 straight weeks. Every day I would look at how to do this, what mics are best, what is this, and I just was like, all right, cool, let me just do it. Now I want to learn Pro Tools. I know most people use Adobe Audition that are doing voiceover, but I've been looking at Pro Tools all this time, sitting behind our engineers. I was like, I'm gonna just learn that. And Recognize taught me Pro Tools. And so, and he taught me how to use Final Cut. And so and then I use iMovie. Like I just edit all those videos that you see, like I edit all those things myself, everything. And videos like my social media videos.
Yeah.
I edit everything. I shoot it all myself, edit it myself because I learned. Recognize taught me how to. I told you he's like an IT team, rapping IT team. And he taught me those things. And so I found my way to it. I use Rec and YouTube, my son. Boom, now I got a new career.
Right. And it's really true that you can start to find all these things, whether it's whether you're trying to change a tire, whether you're trying to like whatever you're doing, you're gonna find it from a lot of these spots. And then there's a different sense of, I could hire somebody to shoot this quick video for me, or I can just shoot this and then I can edit it and then I'm gonna like sit and mess around with this and learn something, and it ends up being a cooler of a project.
Yeah, man, you can learn I didn't even know nothing about exposure. I still really don't. About exposure and all of that stuff, man. I want to learn something. I just call people I know how to do it. I want to play the guitar. I'm like, hey, how you do this, man? And they're like, oh, we'll do this, put this hand here, put that there. But I'm like, okay, cool. And I just do it. I just pick stuff up and do it. Not that I'm just an expert guitar player, but I fool around with it. And you know what I mean? I fool around my car. If something happens at my house, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just trying to fix it. Because I live in an older house, man. I live in an old house. Our house was built in like 1965.
Yeah, they're going to need some work.
Stuff goes wrong. I mean, we've done so much work to it in the last 10 years that I've been living here that it's actually pretty cool. Although I'm going to redo my basement because it was like a storage before. I had so much stuff. Dude, I had never thrown away a stage uniform in 20 years. I had 20 years of stage uniforms. And we don't have one. We got like 10 of every color.
Right.
10, 12 of each color. So I'm out there with 36 uniforms, you know what I mean, on each tour. And for 20 years, dude, they were piled up to the ceiling in bags and stuff. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I cleaned out my basement and, I still got a lot of stuff, but I cleaned it out, cleaned my attic out, and I'm about to remodel my basement myself, dude, just because I know how I want it. And I always want to know. Ted gave a birthday shout out to me, and he was like, he put all of these things like to the rappingest, singingest, carburetor, rehauling and overhauling. Dude, he was like, changes everybody's flat tire, changes the neighbor's oil, and you know what I mean? Like, I want to know how to do it. So if they're like, hey, can you do this? In my head, I'm like, nah. But I just be like, yeah, I'll be over there in a minute. And I'll be under the car with my phone looking at YouTube like, all right. You know what I'm saying? I like to do that stuff, man. It's an escape from what I normally do all the time, which is music and comedy,
Absolutely. And I think it also, I mean, I don't know if this is you, but for me, I'm kind of the same way where I want to learn new career paths. I want to learn new styles. I mean, I have a degree in physics, but I'm doing like leasing and property management, and I've done drafting, design work, and then the photography and everything that I do here. It calms my mind from the constant craziness of thoughts and everything going on in my mind, right, to be able to put that into action and just be like, okay, well, if I'm focusing on fixing this car, I'm not focusing on all the other stuff that I'm thinking about. And so I think that kind of helps me, drive me to do constantly. If I get in a monotone way, then I have all this other time to be thinking about everything else.
Dude, we all need therapy at the end of the day. We all need therapy. We do. We all need therapy, and whatever that is for you, that's not hurting you. You know, some people, well, I got to get high. I ain't talking about weed. That's therapy. Weed, cannabis is therapy. I wish I could smoke it like that. I have to find certain strains, and I can only do it every now and then, man, or else it makes me feel like I'm out of my mind. I need to find like the person that knows the most about cannabis for what I describe, my symptoms, and they can go, oh, it's this strain and it's this much is what you need. I need that because I want to be able to, and if it's smoking it, if it's edibles, if it's a pill form in milligrams, you know what I mean? I'd like to be able to do nothing bigger than that, though. I think cannabis can really help. They're treating a lot of people with autism and, Alzheimer's and things like that, man. So I want to use it for its medical purposes and be able to escape that way too. You know what I'm saying? But everybody needs therapy.
Absolutely, and that's I do the same thing with I can't smoke. It makes me feel like it makes my heart race. It makes me go kind of crazy, and that's what a lot of people are like. Well, weed's supposed to calm you down. I'm like, yeah, I need to find the guy that gets me the kind that calms me down.
Okay.
But yeah, so I just wanted to say again, thank you for sitting down with us, for catching up with us. I appreciate everything. I can let you get back here, let your son play a little video games before bed.
Oh, he ain't, dude. He goes to bed at like 5 in the morning.
I suppose now there's.
I got up last night at 5:30 in the morning. He's up.
Yeah.
What noise, Daddy? I'm like, I don't know, but why are you up? Listen to noise. And he's like, I'm chilling, Dad. I'm like, I enjoy your summer, man. Do what you want. And when we buckled down, he finished with a 4.0. You know what I mean? At the end of the year, he finished school year with a 4.0. It's like, why am I gonna ride him about just staying up?
Right.
He wants to stay up and play Fortnite, Apex, 2K, whatever. I'm just if I wasn't so sleepy at that time, I would have been like, oh, let's get a game in real quick.
Right. Absolutely, man. Well, hey, like I said, just thanks for everything. For everybody listening now, we will have Mayday on tomorrow, Stevie Stone Thursday, and then Mackenzie is going to be on Friday to wrap things up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Strange Music for everything that you guys have done this week, for sitting down and taking over upcoming hip hop this week.
Yeah,
and everybody, get the new album when it comes out. Be watching cartoons and just pick out that voice.
I'll give you guys this much. Be looking at I'm going to be part of a humongous cartoon that's on net. It'll be on Netflix.
Perfect.
I think it may have already started, but you just got to look it up. Maybe it's on IMDb. I don't know. Just look it up and see.
Search the internet, guys. Let us know.
Yeah. Let me know what you find.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, man. Enjoy it, man.